Hey future self, it is your past self here, and today I want to talk to you about past. But before I do, have you noticed the background's different and the lighting is completely different? That's because I'm staying at MIT for this week, like I said in my moving video last week. So, hopefully you don't mind this complete different change, and we'll be back to normal next week. Alright, moving forward. In my hand, I have two IDs. One's from Lafayette and one's from MIT. Both of these cards represent paths that I could have taken when I was looking for colleges. In 2011, MIT was my top choice. I visited there twice, I carefully checked all the qualifications on the website, and I even went to interview for my MIT application. And I was very dead set on that path. However, all of that changed when Posse came up. You see, Posse is a scholarship application. It lets you choose from about 6 different schools, at least in the Posse DC area, and lets you decide which one of those to go to, and they'll do a full tuition scholarship along with 9 other people who also get that scholarship to go to that college. It's actually a really awesome program, and that is exactly where I learned about Lafayette. After interview round of that scholarship, I found out more about Lafayette and grew to like it. They had a very interesting CS program that took my attention. After weeks and weeks of that interview process, I somehow got accepted into this Posse program before I even got a chance to submit my MIT application, meaning that I never actually knew whether or not I could have or would have gone to MIT. And as a result, I never really figured out if MIT was even a viable or a good option, whether or not I could have fit that path perfectly. As a friend of mine put it, she basically said to me, as long as I feel good about my past path, there's no reason to think of other paths. And honestly, I felt pretty darn awesome about the path I've taken, and it's gotten me very great places. However, being in Cambridge, and specifically being literally in a dorm of MIT, has made me start to question and challenge these different paths and processes. It's made me wonder how things could have gone, how things would have went if I went to MIT. It's made me wonder, what if I was a local? What if I was a student here? And even to this day, I still think about it. But then I think of why I'm actually here. This right here is my 3rd badge. This is my Google intern badge. You see, even in 12th grade, I still wanted to go to Google. And the only way I thought was possible, the only way I thought that could be possible, was going directly through MIT. Yet here I am on a completely different path. So the more I thought about these different paths and these different forks in the road, the more I realized that these paths aren't exactly forks. They're more complicated than that. One path doesn't lead you in a complete different direction compared to another path. In fact, these paths, or really decisions, are a lot more complicated than that. They intersect, they intertwine, they move around, they go in complete different ways than we never could expect. And the one thing we have to realize is that we have a lot of control over these paths. In fact, the path that you choose doesn't exactly determine your life. Even though I had my MIT and my Lafayette ID right here, and even though I was thinking about both paths, and even if I did think that my MIT one would get me directly to Google, it's not exactly the case. It's really up to you and how you get there and what you choose to do at wherever you are in that path that can get you to where you want to be. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing for you. Long story short, your path doesn't determine your life. It's you and what you do with that path that determines where you will end up. So do you, future self, what path do you think you are on right now? And do you want to really be on that path? So hopefully that'll give you something to think about, and I'll see you next year.